All right, all right, all right. Greetings, one and all. Hope you all doing great. Welcome to Vegan Intel. I hope you're eating right. Hope you're hydrating. Good to see you, Onyx, Rasterman. Good to see you, XYZ. Everybody, come on in, come on in. Yes, indeed. What was that time of the year? You know what it is. Thanksgiving has passed. Now we're heading around to Christmas, New Year's, and we can't leave out the Super Bowl, which is basically a holiday. And people are going to eat a lot. But tonight we're talking about, um, or today, depending on where you're located, we're talking about seasonal depression. It's Seasonal Depression Awareness Month in February. And I find that very interesting. Now, before I get into the information I have, let me just talk freestyle myself about depression. Depression is something that, in my opinion, in my unprofessional opinion, just as a person, depression can hide sometimes. So you could be going through depression and not really know that you're into depression or that you're a little depressed. From my opinion, some of the ways you could tell is, are you taking care of yourself? Are you washing up every day? Are you bathing and taking showers regularly? Are you cleaning up your living quarters? Are you vacuuming, mopping, sweeping, keeping the bathroom clean, keeping the dishes washed? This is some of the signs that I feel will show you that you might be in a little bit of a stoop, because sometimes depression is not anything that necessarily makes you feel down and out. You will be down and out without actually realizing it. And I don't think that's made clear a lot of times. And I think people believe that depression is sadness. And in some cases, it is sadness. But in some cases, it's not. You won't necessarily be sad. And you won't necessarily notice how you've changed. You see what I'm saying? You won't necessarily notice how you've changed. You might have gone through a bad breakup and feel that you're missing your significant other, or angry about the breakup, or not happy that they may be moved on. Or you might have moved on and there's children involved, and you might not be 100% into the moving on. You might miss the person even though you moved on. Your finances you could be struggling financially, and you're so busy concentrating on how to get your finances together, you really don't realize it's affecting your mood, and you could be going through some minor forms of depression. So I just wanted to make it clear to my audience that depression is not necessarily how it sounds. The word depression, it sounds pressed down, depressed. You won't necessarily be down and out. You just might not be up, and you might not even realize it based on how much you got to function to pay bills and survive. So, functioning every day could hide it. So, check, one thing that can help you uh, to check a good way to like back it up. I think that's just my opinion. I think a good way to make sure you're not depressed, that you don't have depression, because you might not know, is uh, cleaning. Cleaning. That would just be my advice. It's not professional advice, but my advice would be cleaning, washing your hair more often, showering more often, uh, vacuuming more often, sweeping, dusting, organizing, organizing your things. That would be my advice for a situation when you don't, just to make sure you're not depressed. Because, in my opinion, you don't always know. So, February is Seasonal Depression Awareness Month. And seasonal depression, which is also called seasonal affective disorder, is a problem. Seasonal depression, also called seasonal affective disorder, SAD, is a type of depression. It's triggered by the change of seasons and most commonly begins in late fall. Symptoms include feelings of sadness, lack of energy, loss of interest in usual activities, oversleeping, and weight gain. Treatment includes light therapy, talk therapy, and antidepressants, which I feel you always want to try to avoid the drugs unless it's absolutely necessary. And you want to make sure you always go back and forth with your doctor. You know, when you go to the doctor, it's got to be a two-way street. You just can't be a robot and let the doctor say, do this, do that, do that. Although you do want to follow your doctor's orders after you've agreed with the doctor to follow them. Don't agree with the doctor, then go and don't follow the doctor's orders, because now the doctor's under the impression you're going to do what the doctor told you and you didn't. Maybe if you discuss with the doctor that you don't want to do what the doctor told you, maybe the doctor can give you alternative methods. You see what I'm saying? Allow the doctor an opportunity to try to think what other things you could do to help your situation. Just don't have the doctor thinking that, they told you good advice and that you're going to take it and then you don't. So it's always good to follow your doctor's advice And it's always good also to think for yourself. Good to see you, Kathy. Think for yourself. What do you think? But it's long, but definitely be working on it. Okay, your doctor says you have high blood pressure. Just for an example, tells you to take this certain medication. You tell the doctor, is there a way I can not take the medication and let the doctor give you advice? Now, I would advise you in these modern times to open your cell phone and search the medication the doctor is advising. You search uh, problems with this particular medication, side effects of this particular medication. Take advantage of Google. And the doctor said, I'm going to put you on this. You search side effects and then say, Doc, the side effects is this. What do you know about that? You don't just have to just find out later once you start having side effects, not nowadays where you have information right in the palm of your hand. So Google is a very helpful source you should use for many, many things. And what I like about Google is you can keep rewording it. Also, when it gives you the results, you can read the first one, the second one, the third one, medical reports, whatever you're searching. So I would advise you to do your research right while you're in the doctor's office and ask questions. Now, seasonal depression or seasonal affective disorder is a type of depression linked to seasonal changes, most commonly starting in fall or winter with less light, causing low mood, fatigue, and cravings, then lifting in spring and summer. It's more than the winter blues, with symptoms like sadness, hopelessness, irritability, oversleeping, and loss of interest, often relieved by sunlight, light therapy, exercise, psychotherapy, and sometimes medication. Now, in my opinion, more sleep will not necessarily, it might show you that you might be going through a little depression, but at the same time, it is going to be natural for you to sleep a little more during winter months, a form of human hibernation. And so, what I just read to you is absolutely right. Sleeping could be a sign of depression or you're a little down and out. But if you notice you're sleeping a little more, you can still sleep. It's to my opinion, is what you do when you wake up. What you do when you wake up can make all the difference. So if you're sleeping more and you're waking up and you're still dragging around, you're not cleaning, get up and take a nice shower. Get up and treat yourself. Clip your nails, do your fingernails, fix your toenails, work on your skin, massage your feet, soak your feet, clean the kitchen, clean the house, straighten out your bedroom, put some of your business in order. Check out what's going on with your bank statements. Check out what's going on with your bills. Occupy yourself. and that'll stimulate you. And that you need that stimulation. It's already, you know, a little more gloomier. Now, people on the East Coast and the North are going to have to deal with this more than people in the South. But it's all going to be about you getting up and uh, doing something. That's what it's going to be about. Okay? Exercise, 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 as you can see at the bottom of this paragraph. Another thing that could help you tremendously that they haven't mentioned, music. Play some music. Play your favorite music. The music soothes the savage breast. They say the savage beast, but that's incorrect. I learned when I went to music college is music soothes the savage breast, calm you down, get you in a good mood. But the great thing about music, it could calm you down while it's hyping you up. And so my advice is that if you're feeling yourself a little gloomy, maybe sleeping a little much, or obviously depressed, down and out, don't play sad music. Don't play slow music. Play fast music. Play upbeat music. Don't play love songs. Love songs are horrible if you're down and out. Play upbeat songs. Go on your phone and find a song on YouTube, an upbeat song, and play it and keep playing it and find another one. Okay? Upbeat, upbeat, upbeat. Now, common symptoms is, like we said, feeling sad, hopelessness or empty, loss of interest in hobbies, low energy, fatigue, feeling slowed down, oversleeping, or difficulty sleeping, which go hand in hand because you had difficulty sleeping. You're going to fall asleep closer when it's time to wake up, and you're going to still be asleep when you're usually up. Those go hand in hand. And so it's going to look like you're oversleeping, but really you're undersleeping at the time you're supposed to go to sleep. You're not falling asleep. So if you find yourself and you find it hard to sleep, and it could be depression. Now, a great way to beat that is to increase your nutrient intake, not your food intake, not just junk. Increase your nutrient intake. My advice would be get you a multiple vitamin. Also, get a vitamin. Do your research and find out which vitamin your sex typically needs extra. If you're a female, find out which vitamins women are usually low in. A lot of times, women, especially if you got children, you might have to take a plant based calcium supplement maybe once a week because all the bone has struggled when you had a child. Uh, my two oldest sons' mother, once she had my first son, her wrist was sore. Then she had the second son, her wrist was sore and got sore. That's because, you're making a whole human. And they are taking calcium out your body. And she had to take a calcium supplement, and that went away, right? And exercise, more nutrition, more exercise. Now, what comes with exercise and what comes with exercising is you have to eat nutritious food. So, whether you're trying to make sure you're not dealing with depression or you're trying to get in shape, cutting back on food is not necessarily going to help you. Exercising and cutting back on food is really wrong, in my opinion. You have to increase your nutrition intake, get rid of all junk food, make sure you're not eating too much of starches and things like that, and eat vegetables, fruits, and exercise. And what will happen if you eat your vegetables and fruits and exercise? Your blood rate going to go up, your heart's going to go up while you're exercising. That's going to hype you up. And because now you're trying to eat a little more nutrition to build muscle, guess what you're going to do? You're going to go to sleep. As a matter of fact, you're going to go to sleep a little more instead of less, because your body might be a little sore. And there's two reasons you go to sleep. Okay? Because you could be sleepy and you could be tired. And those are two different things. A lot of people don't know that. Sleepy is different than tired. So, sleepy, your body's been working a certain amount, it's ready to rest. Tired is your muscles been doing a little bit, not just regular. Sleepy, you could just get up, and after all day, you're going to be sleepy anyway, because your body's always working more when you're up. But now, if you're exercising, your body's not just normally working, but your muscles are working, your muscles are growing. Got to put in more nutrition to grow the muscles, and now you're going to have to take naps. You're going to have to slowly, you'll need the naps less and less, but while you're adjusting, you'll need naps. So your sleep could be a little thrown off because your muscles are tired. You took a nap, the nap went a little long, and so you end up getting sleep while you're resting, and now you don't need quite as much sleep. But that will adjust itself as long as you keep exercising. I would advise every other day. And if you exercise 2 days in a row, take 2 days off. If you exercise 3 days in a row, take 2 days off. Right? So, carbohydrate craving and weight gain. Well, the exercising is going to eliminate those problems, because you're going to be burning those carbs instead of they just sitting there. And you're going to be losing weight rather than gaining weight. Irritability and restlessness. The exercise is going to get rid of that. You will not be irritable. You will be tired. And you will not be restless. You will be resting. And the exercise will also, to me, help you with your trouble concentrating, because you will not be wanting to concentrate. You'll be wanting to rest. And by taking a break from concentrating, will make you more sharper when it's time to concentrate. You won't be burnt out. Now, this is just my advice that I'm giving you along with these symptoms. Treatment and management, light therapy, using a special light box to mimic sunlight. A lot of times, what women do is they buy plants and they open up the curtains and bring more light into the house. Growing plants is a great therapy, even when you don't need therapy, because growing plants add to what I said: cleaning, being busy, maintaining somebody, and the same way you're providing light for the plants, you'll be getting that light, and that'll help fight you even going into depression or having depression and not being aware of it. So plants is a good natural way to get some work in, to be active, to have your mind focused on taking care of something, and to get more light. Psychotherapy, talk therapy, cognitive behavioral therapy can be effective. It could if you're dealing with serious depression where you know it. Yeah, you probably would have to go to talk to somebody, especially if you don't have a friend that you can talk to clear your mind, to get opinions, to get psychological help, advice from your friend. Well, why don't you do this, Pharaoh? Why don't you do that? Oh, that's that, just that. Did you talk to somebody? A lot of times, talking to friends will make you go talk to a professional if they feel like it. Antidepressants may be prescribed. That's up to your doctor and your psychiatrist. In my opinion, um, exercising and self care is a natural way to adjust your mind, but your doctor, uh, always take your doctor's advice unless you doing the research for better advice. That would be my advice. My advice is, if my doctor tell me do this and I don't do it, but I don't do an alternative, that's not good. I should do what my doctor tells me. But if my doctor tell me to do this, but I feel I got an alternative, and I do the alternative, and I begin to feel results from the alternative, then it's not like I'm just blowing off my doctor trying to help me. It's just I'm using a different method, and the doctor stimulated me for me to use a different method ordered other than what the doctor told me, because three different doctors could easily tell you three different things. So you still have to think for yourself. But to not do nothing, you're not following your doctor's advice, because your doctor's overall advice is to get better. And doing nothing is not what your doctor advised. So if you don't have a better idea, then do what your doctor told you. So for like me, my doctor might prescribe me some type of vitamin. I might feel that vitamin might got stuff in it I don't want. And then I would go get me a natural plant-based vitamin, but I would still be taking the vitamin A or the vitamin E the way the doctor told me. I just might not take the one the doctor wants me to take. That's all. So you really have to always be monitoring yourself. How do you feel? What are you eating? What's your weight gain? What's going on with you? Now, lifestyle changes. Maximize sunlight exposure, walks, sitting by windows. Walks are great. Get outside. Regular exercise is excellent. Eating healthier stimulates the walking and exercise. The eating regulates how you function. If you eat very nutritious food, lots of plants, especially fruits and vegetables, herbs and spices, nuts and grains, you will automatically want to do something. It's like somebody plugged you in and charged up your battery. So, good nutrition, cutting back on the foods that make you fat, the foods that make you sluggish, and eating the foods that digest quickly and keep the system running, keep you lubricated, automatically will help your situation as far as I'm concerned. That will help you exercise regularly. You see how it says maximize sunlight exposure, regular exercise, healthy eating. Exactly, the healthy eating will help with the first two. Maintain a consistent sleep schedule. But you're going to adjust that sleep schedule if you begin to exercise. So you're going to have to maintain your new sleep schedule because if you haven't been exercising and you start exercising, you're going to sleep different until you build a certain amount of muscle. And while you're going in the process of building that muscle, you're going to have to rest. But that's going to be a healthy rest because you're eating better, you're losing weight, you're not consuming junk food, and so you will wake up sharper. Okay, because uh, maintaining consistent sleep schedule is really hard when you increase your exercising and increase the nutrients you have to consume for the exercise to maximize the exercise. So you're going to be going through some adjustments, but overall this is right. But you will be going through some, that's a conflict there with exercising and maintaining consistent sleep schedule. Uh, that depends on how bad you are out of shape. If you were way out of shape and you start exercising, you're going to have to sleep more because you're going to be whooped. You're going to be tired. Okay. And they say stay socially active. And that's hard too, depending on your situation. None of your family might not live around. You might live in a house or apartment. You don't know nobody over there. There might not be people available to socialize with. If you got a big family, your wife with a husband, some children, yeah, you got people to socialize with. Same if you're a husband with a wife and children, yeah. But if you're single, uh, and if you're 45 and older, socializing is not necessarily available, to be honest with you. And if you're young, Socializing can be a problem because you might not have the right company to socialize with. And if, let's say, you're socializing with somebody that likes to drink or likes to smoke cigarettes. So, staying socially active is, uh, uh, if you can, and stay, if you can stay socially active in a healthy environment, yeah. If not, I would advise to join some live stream, watch live streams where you are basically interacting with people, even though they're not right there, where you are taking in information, where you are watching various sources. So you're not really alone. You're on your phone or you're on your laptop watching somebody talk, interacting in a chat. That's a great way to socialize. A lot of truckers watch me and they stay up like that. They're able to feel like they're not just sitting there in the truck by themselves. So social media is really a good way to stay socially active as long as you just watch positive stuff and don't get caught up into arguing and the dark side. As long as you stay on the bright side, get into it for fun. If you got a certain music you like, watch content creators that talk about the music, the history of the music. That you'll find that very interesting. That'll keep you bright, keep you up. Oh yeah, man, that was my song. Things like that help the day go by. Next thing you know, it's time for you to go to work or go to sleep or cook or exercise or something. Key facts, prevalence: about 5% of U.S. adults experience seasonal depression. Location: more common in areas with less winter daylight and higher latitudes. Gender: more common in women than men, which I'm not sure about that. I would say more noticeable in women than men. And I would think the women express it a little more. And I think the men try to work through it. I also think the women are more aware. And I don't think the men are aware. But I do think a woman having her cycle uh, makes her a little more. And also, women having children has a lot to do with why it would be more common because women have empty nest syndrome when the children grow up and start getting married, dating, get their own place, go away to college. Women do go through something. They have a midlife crisis. They're looking for something to replace that empty nest. This could cause divorce to infidelity, all type of stuff. So that's a whole nother video right there. That gets deep. Now, the best fruits for depression are antioxidant rich berries like blueberries, strawberries, and citrus fruit because it's got the vitamin C in it. Plus bananas, but make sure the bananas get the dots, start getting little spots on them, right? And you can get try to find serotonin, right? And you can get the fiber. As variety is key for overall mental wellness, supporting neurotransmitter production and reducing inflammation linked to mood disorder. So basically, the fruits are going to wash you, stop you from being so dry, right? Add more moisture to the body, which moisture is calming without it being uh, so depressing. And then, of course, vitamins and nutrients naturally hype you up, naturally. And so, vitamins and nutrients is definitely a winner. Like, for example, if I'm taking a multiple vitamin, I'm supposed to take it once a day. Sometimes it's good to take it twice one of those days. And I don't advise taking a multiple vitamin every day. I believe it's a waste of money. Too much of it you urinate out. So I would advise a multiple vitamin every other day and two on some of those days to get that boost. Every day, I don't I don't see urinating out all that vitamins every day. That seems to be a waste of money. If your body takes in vitamins, it's not going to just throw it right back out. So if I take vitamin C today, I'm not going to be vitamin C depleted tomorrow. It doesn't work like that. So I can see some days you take it 3, 4, 5 every day of the week, but to take it 30 days in a row, nah. Maybe 7 days, yeah. Every now and then. Once a month, you take your vitamins every day. After that, take them every other day. Next month, you pick a week, take them every day. But every day, 365 days a year, when you go to the restroom, just look in the toilet after you take your vitamins. You'll see where it's at. Uh, but it's good. Definitely take your vitamins. And if you eat right, you're going to get vitamins that aren't going to just come out like, pill vitamins. A lot of it's going to come back out. Food vitamins is not going to come out like that. That's the one vitamin that your body's going to take in and use it. A man made vitamin, a lot of it you're going to urinate out. So that's why it's important to increase the amount of fruits and vegetables, herbs and spices, nuts and grains, seeds that you consume. Your body will take all of that in. Okay. Now, the top fruits, berries, blueberries, strawberries, etc., they're packed with antioxidants, especially anthocyanins, which reduce inflammation and depression risk, and vitamin C to help with stress. Oranges and citrus, high in vitamin C, crucial for making serotonin, the feel good chemical, and lifting your vibration. You see those fruits like that, they make you feel good some type of way. Bananas contain tritophan, which the body converts to serotonin and melatonin, plus fiber for stable energy, preventing mood dips. An apple a day keeps the doctor away. Okay. If you could eat an apple at least 5 times a day, 5 times a week, 3 times a week, it's going to make all the difference. Provide fiber for sustained energy, antioxidants to fight inflammation, and vitamin C for neurotransmitter support. And one of my favorites is avocado, high in protein and B vitamins, which help with dopamine and serotonin production. Notes Women's Brain Health Initiative, right? And that's going to give you the healthy fat. So you're going to get the protein and healthy fat. The vitamin B, ladies, you definitely got to get that, ladies. And then the healthy fat and the protein is going to what? Help you get in the gym, get those curves popping. And ladies, you know, when your body starts looking better, your mood does what? Goes up. Men, you know, when you start to put on that muscle, when that shirt starts feeling fitting better, that helps you take you out of that down and out, depressed state of mind. Exercise is extremely important, and eating nutritious food, not a bunch of junk, a bunch of fast food, a bunch of uh, ultra processed foods. That's going to make your situation worse. That's why a lot of people, when they're overweight, they get depressed and then they eat more candy bars, they eat more cakes, they eat more donuts, and then they just go down and down and down. And when they're at home alone, they're just sad and eating or uninspired in eating. They might not be sad, but they're just not there. Because for you to eat like that, then you're going through periods that are that could be considered depression. You definitely know you don't feel that great. You know you're not moving good with all this extra weight. So what's going on with you? The reason you can ignore that you're eating too much or you're not exercising, you got too much weight. It's a form of depression. It has to be. What else will make you just sit there and do that? The brain uses the amino acid tryptophan to produce serotonin, a neurotransmitter largely responsible for feeling of happiness and well-being. Plant-based sources of tryptophan include leafy greens, sunflower seeds, watercresses, soybeans, pumpkin seeds, mushrooms, broccoli, and peas. Keep you some raw sunflower seeds, not that salty ones with the white on. That's too much salt. And keep you some pumpkin seeds. Well, the pumpkin seeds are what I'm thinking about. Keep you some sunflower seeds, right? Unsalted, all right? If you can find some might got a little sea salt on them, you could do that some. And keep you some pumpkin seeds, raw pumpkin seeds. If you want to, you could roast them and put a little sea salt on them yourself and, just roast them just a little bit. Put them in a pan, a stainless steel pan on the stove, throw them in there, turn them over a little bit to take a little bit of that moisture out. Those are really good. And the pumpkin seeds are great too because the pumpkin seeds are allegedly worms do not like pumpkin seeds. So if you got children, pumpkin seeds is a must. Pumpkin seeds is a must. Get them into them early, raw. Get them into them early. That because babies touch your kids touch everything, and the pumpkin seeds will help deworm them. Okay, and of course broccoli, peas, mushrooms, basically plants, vegetables is a must. Why these work? Antioxidants fight cell damage from free radicals, reducing inflammation linked to depression. Vitamins and minerals. Vitamin C, B vitamins, folate, and magnesium support neurotransmitter production, serotonin, and dopamine. Fiber stabilizes your blood sugar, preventing energy crashes that can worsen your mood. See, the bad food is going to make it worse, people. Tryptophan, an amino acid precursor to mood regulating serotonin. Now remember, while what you eat helps, it's not a cure. Incorporate a variety of fruits as a part of a balanced way of eating alongside of professional treatment if you know you're going through depression. But if you, in my opinion, if you eat right, if you eat more fruits and vegetables and get off all that other stuff, put down the potato chips and all that ultra processed food and eat natural food. Change your snacks. You want a snack, eat some grapes, eat some strawberries, eat some raspberries. New snack. You want some sweet, eat a ripe banana, eat an apple. Grow some plants. Grow some plants, which is going to cause you to find sunlight to come into the home. The plants are going to provide fresh oxygen. They're going to uplift you. It's going to bring more light into the house, and it's going to hype you up because you're going to have to take care of the plants, which is going to give you something to live for. It's going to raise up the way you're functioning. This is why a lot of women are able to not have depression because they got children. Mama ain't got time to be depressed. Little Johnny, little badass up, and hey, she ain't got no. She got to chase him all day. He done learn how to walk, and he in this stuff. And mama ain't got mama. She would like she ain't got no time to be depressed. She got to chase him all day, and he doing funny stuff, or she doing little Sarah doing funny stuff, or Tony little butt doing funny stuff. So mommy's got activity going on. Activity. I tell you something too. Mommy be exercising, picking up them babies and putting them down, and picking them up and putting them down. And mommy's weight come on, but she can get it off with the little baby. But by the time the baby start getting 3 and 4, mommy doing less exercise. She ain't got to carry it no more. So that's where mommy got to. She got to. You got to exercise. That's the only thing gonna regulate your sleep. Got to eat good food and exercise. Plants, plants, plants. Always remember, plants were put here for medicine. This is what nature gave you for medicine. It's plants. Even your dog, if it gets sick, is going to go in the backyard and eat grass. All the animals, when something's wrong with them, they find a plant to chew on. They find a bark. They find a fruit or a vegetable or a herb or a spice. Every animal in the wild, that's their medicine. And so, overall, to wrap it up, get some sunlight in the house, have some social activity. If it's nothing but talking on the phone or getting on social media and interacting on social media, listen to some music that sounds good, make you feel up, and check your vibe to see if you're a little off. And the way to know that is showering, brushing your teeth, washing up, washing your hair, cleaning the home, keeping the bathroom clean, keeping the dishes washed. keeping your clothes washed. If you start lacking on those things, your mind's a little preoccupied. I wouldn't necessarily call it depression, but I can say that you could end up definitely going into a slump like that where you didn't clean up one day, 2 days, the next thing you know, you haven't cleaned up in 6 months. So always check that. Check your cleaning would be my way of you knowing how you feel. Because when you can't take them dishes in the sink, you ain't depressed. You know what I'm saying? But if you could just leave them in the sink like that and just keep getting another glass and never wash all them glasses out, it could be you're super busy, but it could be depression, especially if it takes too long for you to clean them. All right. Another thing too is if you got stuff on in the dishes, it's all right to leave some glasses in the sink, but it shouldn't be nothing in them. Every time you take a glass, you got this. When you drink this up, you go and you rinse it. You might not want to wash it. You might be busy. You might got to go pick the children up, but run hot water in it and dump it and put it in the sink. Do not put it in the sink with this floating around in the bottom. Do not put anything in the sink with food in it. Wipe that out, rinse the plate, and put it in the sink. So it's not clean, but it's not dirty. There's no crumbs. You're not feeding roaches and rats and mice. So those are the little things you could do to make sure you're not depressed and that you're functioning like a decent human being. If you're dating somebody and you see any food in the sink, that's a sign. Don't date them. Because any decent person is going to totally clean that plate. They ain't going to have no spaghetti sauce in that sink just sitting. They're going to rinse that little bit of sauce down the drain and they're going to put that plate in there, but it's not going to be no spaghetti sauce or no mustard or ketchup or nothing on that plate but a film a little bit. And usually, uh, run some hot water on it. If I rinse this out, I'm going to put in the sink. I'm going to fill it up with hot water. Now I might not wash it. It might sit there 2 days, but ain't nothing in it but water though. It might just be a film on the outside or something like that. But I'm not gonna put anything, any type of substance just sitting in my sink. Also, check the toilet in the bathroom. If your toilet, your shower, and your bathroom's not clean, you're going through a little something. It might not be full blown depression, but it's headed in that direction if you don't snap out of it and clean up. And so when you cleaning is a good way to come out of depression or to prevent yourself from going into it, and some nice music and plant-based way of eating fruits, vegetables, herbs and spices, nuts and grains, because once you get into exercising to get yourself in shape and eating really healthy, that gives you stimulation in the mind to keep you busy, to keep you active. It gives you purpose. And that could help you even if you go through a bout of depression. If you're eating right, you will come out of it. But if you're not eating right, it could go bad. And it can go into substance abuse. That's another thing. You should not be drinking. Now, ladies, if you got a boyfriend and he's drinking all the time like that, every week he's got a drink, there's issues there. He should not be drinking alcohol like that. He shouldn't be drinking alcohol nothing but barely, just a couple times a month if he must. But if you got a man and he's drinking and that's how he's having fun, he's trying to fight depression. He's thinking the beer and the liquor, he's using a fake happy. He got to get liquor in him to feel like he's having a good time. That's the problem. That's the problem. And he's going to have extreme mood swings when he ain't got a drink. Even be mean and probably and violent or just non-responsive. That's for ladies too. If she's always got to go out and get a drink, every time she go to dinner, she got to have alcohol. She go to the club, she got to have alcohol. She go to a friend's house, she got alcohol. It's the weekend, she got anybody like that. There's issues there because what are you running from? Why do you have to alter your mind state so much? And what's that doing to your brain? What's it doing to your liver, your kidneys, your spleen, your body parts, your stomach? The best way to really live a full life for many years is to be heavily concentrated on health. That'll help prevent all of that. That don't mean you won't go through depression, but you definitely get out of it quicker than everybody else. There's no doubt about it. Because if you're a plant-based and you go into depression, you're going to notice you ain't eating right like you was. Like you was eating like this and now you eating like that and you stuck in the rut. It's going to be very obvious. So then you'll be like, you know what? I got to get this back up right. And that's going to bring you right out of it. So, get you some good music, get you some exercise, and get you some fruit. Okay, and remember, health is wealth. So take care of yourself. V is for vegan and for victory.